Hey, what's up guys? So yes, J-Wink is back with the review for The Flash Season 2 episode Flashback. So yes, Flashback was a really interesting episode. I'm just gonna break down the plot pretty much. Barry wants to go back in time because he wants to get faster, so he decides to go back to the time when Eobard Thawne was still impersonating as Harrison Wells, and he's going to ask him, and he wants to find out how he can get faster. Now, I think this episode was a pretty good episode right off the start. Just the idea of the episode was really brilliant. And I love the idea of time traveling, because whenever he goes through, the space time, that the big portal where we see all these images going back and stuff like that. It's interesting and cool to see, what will we see? Are we going to see more Easter eggs? Because we've seen plenty of Easter eggs so far. Like when he went through its first season, we saw Killer Frost. We saw him in jail. We saw the Flash statue. The Flash Museum and stuff like that. And so, definitely, it was, some things that was going to be interesting that would leave off into there. And kind of what the secret to why Barry kind of is, is not as fast is because he's touching the ground too much. So, he's touching the ground, more than Zoom or the Reverse Flash would. So, that's why he cannot beat them. But, it was definitely very, very cool to see, it was very funny and very, just pretty like I said, pretty funny to see the Barry from the past meet Barry from the future, well, from the present, and it was very funny, and it was cool to just like look, boom, and just knock it. I thought it was pretty funny, and especially when they met towards the end of the episode. I really did like that element because it was pretty funny, and it was pretty good, And so moving on to kind of why he's there is he talks to Harrison Wells, and Harrison Wells pretty much figures out right off the bat, because he can tell he's getting faster. He's thinking about something else, and I don't blame Barry, but he needed but Barry was a little bit stupid there. He should have known, gradually talk about it just a little bit, but he just kind of just sorry guys, I'm just a little bit tired. But yeah, so he kind of just forces it in there, and it's just like, look, blah 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 blah. Speak for me, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I know you're not Barry. You're not the real Barry. And so it was very cool to see that kind of happen, like that he gets caught. I figured that would happen, because I was like, oh no, if he gets caught, I figured that would have been right at the end of the episode, and then he wouldn't have been able to leave. But the real villain of the episode is kind of the Time Wrath, I think they called it, something like that. I remember Wrath, but that's kind of the main problem of the episode. Well, the main antagonist of the episode, and that is because Barry brought the Time Wrath with him once he ran through the portal, and he brought him back into the past, and so then he's got to deal with that. But oh gosh, I'm sorry guys. But he does then deal with also seeing Eddie back. He has to deal with that, and he's just like, yeah, can you do me a favor and just just say what Iris means to you? And it was very cool and very just like, oh, that's kind of sweet of Barry, because he got he did what she wanted, what she wanted him to do. Well, she wanted to get that oomph to get back out there, and that he would that wouldn't hold her back. So there's that. And it is Barry, you're a sweet guy, buddy. Yeah. But so moving on to kind of what more comes out of this episode was I just really like to see that back and forth between Harrison and Barry, because it was very that was the biggest part of the episode I really liked. I think it was very just big and apparent, and it was just very fun, because it's good to see Tom Cavanagh and Grant Gustin. They go back and forth so well because they have such good chemistry. They had such good chemistry last season. They have such good chemistry this season. That's something good about the Flash, is pretty much all the characters have good chemistry, and that's something very, very good. One little problem I'd like to say is, but I don't really blame it, but the CGI a little bit during the Flash and Flash fight looked a little bad in some parts, but but it's a TV budget. I can't really blame it for anything. But I thought it was kind of cool. I did like that Flash on Flash fight. It was pretty cool and interesting because we all knew who was gonna win that fight. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah. And it was just very interesting how Barry had to persuade him. Like, yeah, I'm from the future. After you and I part ways. After you beat me. And he lies to him because he knows that and that because he knows that Harris, Reverse Flash, if he doesn't, he made it very apparent, because in this episode, he was Reverse Flash. He wasn't really much Harrison Wells. He was Reverse Flash. And so, yeah, there's something like that, well, not something like that, but you know what I mean. But, then moving on to kind of, them taking down the Time Wrath, it was very cool and very, kind of fun. And, and how they kind of kept the bad guy from season 1. I don't remember that guy a lot. But, that was very cool that they used him and that he was in the sneak peek at the end of the episode and that he turned out to be a good guy. So, hey, that's something good for Barry. But that's going to be interesting. It didn't look like anything really changed in the universe. So, it's definitely very, very cool to see, the only things that changed were, that, the guy turned good, and blah 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 blah. And so, other than that, I thought, Tom Cavanaugh, I thought Harrison Wells, when he came back from time, when he came back, he was gone because he was nowhere to be seen. I'm like, oh, is he like, did Barry like kick him out of the timeline or what happened? Because there was all this talk about, you're ruining it and blah 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 blah, and something bad's gonna happen. It was very, very cool and very, it was just like, ooh, the mystery, the level of mystery. Will Barry mess something up? Will something not be the same when he comes back? But, everything was perfectly fine. So, yeah, that was pretty good. Next week's episode, though, it looks pretty cool. He looks like he's actually going to encounter the Reverse Flash, a Zoom, and we're going to find out Hunter Zolomond's backstory, which is going to be pretty awesome. But, guys, definitely I'm going to give this episode 5 out of 5 wings. I really did like this episode. I thought it was pretty fantastic. So far, this week for episodes has been pretty good, especially because I'll be talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next. So yeah, some pretty good TV shows here, guys. So yeah, guys, that's about it. I'm Jay Wink, and I'm winking out. I'll see you guys later.